So we need to go.
No more. Do not touch the thing again.
Okay.
Would be my suggestion.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it alone. Let's go in again. Oh, my
See if this works. Take 2.
Okay. Let's see if we can figure it out.
I think it's working.
Yay! We can get it figured out. We're having technical difficulties.
We're not. We're not touching the.
No more touching anything. No more touching anything.
Nope.
Oh
it was
my.
Weird. The chat was disabled. We were chatting there for a couple minutes, and it's like.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's working now.
Yes. Okay. I tell you, we really need to just get a webcam. When we've been saying that for weeks, months actually, and yeah, well, we really should.
That doesn't fix the problem that we just had there.
Well, no, that was, but when you go to do the live, it asks you if you want to enable chat and monetize it and so on and so forth. I did all that, and now, anyways, thank you very much, Bramdegard.
Yes,
we couldn't figure it out, and then we're like, but there's no chat showing. So awesome. Thank you for sticking with us, guys.
It should be good now, unless we happen to touch it again and get some weird filter again.
Well, I just find my phone is so sensitive to, like, you go to move it to do something and you hit a button. It's like that day when we were in black and white. I have no idea how we did that, but for some reason. Anyway.
Hello, Tracy, and hello, Brampton Gardner. Thank you for, thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah, we're like, how come it doesn't show the comments? So people, must be saying something. There's people in here. But anyways, hello, Cindy. How you doing?
That's too funny.
This is what happens when you take a 1 month off doing chats. You come back really rusty. We forget how to do all the setup and everything else. But you know what? It was good to take the time, because between my family coming out and all the canning and processing and everything else,
it's been busy. September is just like
gone by.
Yeah. Now it's really starting to feel like fall, which got to get some more things out of the garden before it actually frosts on us.
I know. Well, they're saying 5 degrees tonight. I just went out on the deck to feed the cat, and it was like full on see your breath.
I'm sure it'll do the same thing it does almost every year, though, where
it gets cold and then
for a little bit, and then it goes right back up, and it's like, oh, you could still be growing.
Yeah. Oh, so Tracy, you got frost coming tonight. Hey, Crucy. They haven't actually called for frost, so we're not covering anything. To be honest, I'm to the point I don't care.
Well, the only thing
if the tomatoes go, the only thing we should have gotten out was our sweet potatoes. So hopefully it does not frost.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
I think we're good. We're just gonna go with that. We're good until the weekend.
Yes.
And then we can just get it all out. Yeah, we've been as you can see, we're both sitting here in sweaters.
Oh, but this is my time. I love this time of year when you have to wear a sweater outside and there's no bugs. Oh, it's so nice. I could keep working outside, but instead just working in the kitchen. But that's okay. Hey, Eldan. Kids put the toques on themselves. Yeah. Yeah, it was a chilly. There's definitely. Hey, rolling with Raquel as well.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. 29 in MB today. Holy cow.
Yeah, because you said we were 18.
We were 15 today.
Yeah,
but then we're 21. Tomorrow is 18, and then I think the next day is 21. Weta, yeah. Oh, that's when I like it. I like it cool.
It makes doing some of the bigger jobs easier, anyways.
Oh yeah,
not easier, but more enjoyable.
Somebody is supposed to be taking next week off work.
That's the plan.
Supposed to be, so that we can do fencing. So it's supposed to be.
It's not going to be just fencing.
Not just fencing. We got to finish taking everything out of the garden. We got to. Oh, the list. We didn't even dare to do a goals video for this fall, because so far we have failed miserably at all of our goal videos. So yeah. Yeah, we watched your video there, Crucy, where you were talking about the couple different ones that you had there, and they looked really good. So, did you ever get any of the white Thomasols? Because we loved them. We're definitely going to grow more of them next year. Wasn't that the one? Or was the Palace?
Yeah,
it was a white Thomasol that you were growing.
That's when it starts getting cold at night, but then your days go warm like that, like you say, 24. It's like, that's
yeah. Well, that's just it.
Interesting.
And the one thing I said, sorry, I'm going back to the tomato conversation, because all my tomatoes had died off like crazy because it had gotten so hot and dry the end of August into the beginning of September. And now, so we pulled out like the ones that really died back. We pulled them out and they're done.
They were determinants anyway.
Well, but even the pineapple ones are done.
Yeah,
but they weren't. But my
they're pretty much toast.
The white Thomasols and the Palestinian and the San Marzanos are all pumping it out. They've got blossoms and they've got tons more green fruit coming. So
yeah, they kind of like stopped and then started again.
Yeah,
but I suppose that's the benefit to an indeterminate tomato.
Yeah. The one thing I would say, Crucy, watch them because they go from green to the yellow quite quickly, the Thomasols.
Yeah, they do. And if you leave them on the vine, you can pick them a bit earlier and they ripen pretty good.
We picked some mostly because our chickens were getting into them, and anytime they turned, they would get in and peck at them. So we picked them and put them in the windowsill and they ripened beautifully. So if you have any that are starting to turn and you're worried about it, they definitely will ripen in the house. So
but they don't have a long shelf life.
No, they don't keep for very long. That would be the only downfall to them.
But we found other uses for them.
Yeah, but they are, I think, verging on one of our favorites now.
Everybody likes them. The kids like them.
Yeah.
We like them.
Yeah, but pink brandy wine have not changed color yet either. Yeah, everybody's been saying that. To be honest, mine weren't doing anything, and then bam, they just all started. Like the San Marzanos. I mean, what are we up to now? With what we brought in, we're probably about 750 pounds of tomatoes.
Something like that.
I mean, it's all been in the last 2 weeks because they were green. They just weren't coming. And then
last 3 weeks. It's the last 3 weeks.
As soon as my parents got here to visit, that's when tomato season started, of course. So
never tried the brandy wines. I was talking about a pink variety.
Yeah,
that's one thing we don't have is a pink tomato.
Well, and I want to. I wrote it down. I don't have it wrote down right in front of me right now, but I wrote down the one that Crucy did in his video too, because we were thinking maybe of trying that one. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it was right off the top of my head, Crucy, but we were going to give that one a shot. Yeah, that one, and we were going to try. What's the other one we're going to try? We're going to try the Manitoba one. Actually, Tracy had mentioned that to us because I think Tracy, you thought that was one we did grow, and we don't. We grow the Scotia one, but then I was watching Quebec Homestead's video recently. I think it was one of her Shed Wars ones or something where she was talking about harvesting the Manitoba. And so we looked it up and did a bit of research and thought, you know what, we're maybe going to try that one.
Yeah.
And I believe
they always use more tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh, Tracy's got some seeds. That would be awesome if you've got the Manitoba ones. Yeah. What did you think of them? Because they looked really good in Quebec Homestead's video, and we tried the ones that were from Alberta. Oh gosh. Subarctic Plenty. Didn't like them because they were small. They were like
well, they were really all different.
Yeah. Well, there might be multiple reasons for that because that was a seed exchange type. Mm-hmm. So you don't know if they were pure, but we just weren't super impressed with them.
Still made a lot of use of them though. But that's the one thing. It's like they're still. We go on and on and on about seed stuff, and they're still edible, but they're just yeah.
Hey, Rambling with the Bruns. How are you guys tonight? Our pseudo neighbors, kind of.
So I guess the big thing, since I guess most people probably know what we've been up to, but what's everybody else been up to?
Yeah,
we've been trying to catch up on videos here and there, but.
Well, we squeeze in a couple videos between canning, or sometimes I pop them on in the background while I'm canning. So I apologize if I don't write a comment or things like that. I don't, usually my hands are dirty or something like that, and I just kind of let it keep going through stuff. But we've sort of been staying in touch with what everybody's been doing.
Trying to.
Yeah. So don't forget thumbs up, everybody. we apologize for the muck up at the beginning. We had like 7 thumbs up right at the beginning. It was awesome. But so that's very interesting, Tracy, about being able to bring them in green and just hang them. That's awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
My great grandmother used to do that. She used to like same thing. She'd wait for the forecast that it was going to frost, and then she'd go and pick everything. And she had a really really long like summer kitchen porch. Probably the best way to describe it. And she'd line them all the way up along the window, and there was like hundreds of them.
Oh, nice.
And they just slowly. You have to check on them, but as long as you've got somewhere like that to put them, they work quite well.
Yeah.
And Tracy's got a great spot with their
summer kitchen. Yeah. I might have a summer kitchen one day as I bat my eyelashes at you.
Sooner than later, potentially.
What else have we got
That's
here?
interesting, Crucy, about the deer. But then they get into habits where they use certain parts of property and not others, even if there is something there. Like we have there's one comes into the pit just behind the barn, basically, but it never comes forward, which kind of makes sense between the fences and everything.
Oh, yeah, it's hard work for them to get up here. Plus, there's tons of food back there, right?
Oh, German
pink. German pink. That was the one, yes. The German pink, Crucy. That's the one that we want to give a try next year. Mm-hmm. That one, the Manitoba, and now we've added, what did Brampton Gardener say?
The pink brandywine.
Yeah.
All ones to look into, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple that we did this year.
Do we really absolutely need more tomatoes? But
no.
Why not?
I'm not even sure.
Have variety.
I'm not even sure. We planted 144 tomato plants this year. Mm-hmm. And normally we do about 120, but I didn't have a good tomato year last year. So I thought, we'll do more. And I think next year we're going to definitely at least tone it back down to the 120 because 144 was way more than we needed.
But it is nice to, because as Brampton Gardener saying about the too many varieties, it's easy to do that, but it's also nice to have grow enough of them that you can do something with, because that's something we noticed with the
pear-shaped ones that we did for our seed challenge.
Oh yeah, the yellow pear-shaped ones were.
We knew we were gonna have it, that we were gonna wish that we'd done more.
Yeah, but now we know for sure because we've been the few that we've been getting, we've been cutting them in half and dehydrating them, and they taste amazing. They taste like you could just eat them like candy.
Yeah,
which is amazing for a tomato.
No,
kids don't think so, but you and I both say they taste really good.
Well, but they'd be really nice. We dehydrated them, and they'd be really nice popped on pizza in the middle of the winter. So that's
even if that was the only thing we grew them for, it's like having ones that do different things is kind of nice.
Well, and the one thing we found this year, we actually grew enough between the white Thomasil and our pineapple tomato. We grew enough to make a yellow tomato juice, and
which is interesting.
It's different flavored completely to the red tomato juice I normally make. It's fruity,
but you use the same recipe.
It's exactly the same recipe, tomatoes. Just the tomatoes taste different. And so that's one that we said we're glad this year that we grew enough of each variety to be able to make something of that completely on its own.
Yeah.
So
you can mix them in, but
but we're not going to probably stick with 2 of the varieties that we grew this year. And try some different ones next year. So
find what works best.
Yeah,
what we like the best.
And it's fun to play around, but still sort of stay in a bit of a controlled zone.
Well, we've been talking about that sort of stuff a lot as we harvest and whatnot. Of it's nice to exactly that. It's nice to grow enough of something that you can make it into things on the back end, and sometimes that's where too much diversity gets kind of, if you only have a couple plants of it, unless it's like a cherry tomato, which they just produce like mad. But sometimes less variety is better.
That's what. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to come to Tracy's after. Rambling with the Brums. Definitely, if you want to do any seed swap type stuff, if we have anything that you'd like to give a try, we keep way more seeds than we will ever need.
The amount of pepper seeds you've been saving from one kind of pepper.
Well, I kind of have this illusion or disillusion, I don't know, that maybe we'll sell some. I did see, I don't know if anybody here watches Start From Seed, but Jason used to sell his seeds on Etsy, but they only ship them to people in Canada. So I kind of thought, well, maybe I could do that. And so I've saved a lot of seeds this year, but I don't know if that was overambitious because that's a project that you've got to make packaging and you've got to, all these other things and the labeling and all that sort of stuff.
You have them, you have them.
So I might, but I don't know. Have you tried selling on Flipside? No. We need pen and paper again. Jeepers. I didn't come prepped. But anyways, so I'm gonna I think it's Scott, right? Rambling with the Brums, Scott. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm terrible with names, and
we're both terrible with names.
Unlike
it's really easy when somebody's YouTube thing is their name.
Oh yeah, that's it. But if you would like to get any seeds or have some seeds or want to swap some seeds, we would definitely give it a try. You said about from Joe, if you have any idea what kind of tomatoes they are, we would probably give it a shot. We like to do that kind of stuff. We do a seed exchange, the Canadian seed exchange in the spring. We got to organize a little bit more on that because we kind of want to tweak it a little bit with some of the stuff that
we haven't really revisited that too much yet, but it's in there for later.
Yes. Okay. So he's Scott. Perfect. So we will organize if you're just looking for tomatoes or if you're looking for other stuff. We keep seeds from pretty much everything that we grow, pretty much. So we're kind of good on that.
Well, a lot of it anyways.
I was going to go to Tracy's there next with the mason jar and olive oil. We watched North Shore Preparedness, and he did that with his cherry tomatoes. He roasted them in the oven first with olive oil and then put them in a jar, and basil, garlic. I can't remember. There was something else that he put in, and then he covered it all in olive oil again. And he said that it will keep right through till the next year and taste amazing. So we have
a lot.
That's a video that I started filming. But anyways, we must have 10 pounds of cherry tomatoes on our, I call it a tree now because it's 9 feet tall and goes up and over. Anyways, that's a spoiler alert for a video that's coming, but we are going to give it a try making the cherry tomatoes that way. But it'd be interesting to potentially slice up some of the ones that we like.
But speaking of cherry tomatoes, we've made a decision, I guess. We don't need more than 6. We don't even need 6 plants because
6 is deadly.
Our cherry tomatoes this year have just gone. Those gray sweet cherry tomatoes are absolute monsters. Like they've got to be 10 feet tall.
That's what I just said. They're 9 feet tall.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, I have to stand on a ladder and I still can't harvest the top. But and I'm to the point where I have to prune a walkway because they've gotten so thick. It's like a hedge, and I have to actually prune an opening to walk through. So they're pretty awesome. So did you write down the Flipside Marketplace? Yes. I can't even read that. His writing is terrible. Absolutely terrible. But as long as you can read it, I do want to look into that because we use Etsy, but I'm not sure on all the, I'm not sure I love Etsy, but it's like Etsy, but for gardeners. Cool. Okay.
That's cool.
That's worth definitely having a look into. So rambling with the Brums. So is your email is probably on your about page, right, Scott? Because I can send you an email and then we can talk about what sort of, if you want some seeds that we've got. Anyways, we'll talk about it on the thingy because we've got lots.
There's more coming.
You can sell seeds or any crafts on the website.
That's kind of cool.
Huh. Okay.
Well, we will definitely have to
I think I will because it's not that I don't love it like Etsy, but it's kind of, I guess it's evolving. As it gets bigger, it evolves. I'm guessing that the Flipside is probably like how they started. It's a little bit smaller. And then, yeah. Tomato confit. Okay.
Oh, and she set up a Facebook group for gardening. We'll have to check that out.
YouTube Gardener Facebook group. Okay. Yes. Actually, you sent us an email about that. I haven't, or did you send me, or was it a Facebook post? Something. Anyways, I will look into it. Full-time Dream. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're well.
Oh, and I'm going to go back to Crucy's. That's awesome that you got your elephant garden garlic. And you'll be excellently timed to get it planted.
Are we going to try and dig ours up, or are we just going to leave it and see if it grows again next year?
I don't know. I'm tempted to leave it because it survived.
Yeah.
it's in there.
Ours did like a little
Well, it grew like a
shoots,
little
like
onion.
it grew like a green onion and then died back.
But then we planted it in the spring.
Yeah, we
and
planted late.
I did do some reading on it. They basically said it'll still grow. It'll still grow like one, was that clove type thing, and then you leave it over winter again, and it'll. So we'll probably leave it and see what happens. It should be fine in the in that raised bed.
Yeah, I think it'll work. We'll give it a try. We should probably cover it.
Yeah, maybe with something. But eventually, we'd like to sell wool. We haven't quite got that far yet. We've got plans. We've looked into some stuff. You looked into it a bit.
Yes. Sorry, I wanted to write down because I want to write down to email Scott.
Oh, you're writing so much nicer than mine.
Otherwise, I'm terrible at remembering. So about seeds. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I don't think the elephant garlic that Honey Badger sent us is going to really require dividing this time, because everything I read basically said you plant the clove. If you plant it in the spring, it'll grow into a bigger clove and then go dormant, and then the next year it'll actually divide. So we'll kind of see what happens there. I may just not disturb it.
Yeah.
Give it a fighting chance.
So Instagram, I'll look you up on Instagram too. We have Facebook. I will admit we're really, really terrible with our Hickorycroft farm on Facebook.
We don't check it.
We're terrible for keeping our social media up to date. It's hard enough just to stay on top of YouTube. It's like we see people that do like all these different even video ones. It's like how, like TikTok and all. How do you keep it all? That would be the ultimate question.
I don't know. Say it's hard enough.
Oh, I know.
And still doing all the stuff.
So like Chrissy's saying about dividing it. Did you already cover that one?
Yeah, that's right. I think it probably won't
stay. Yeah.
Won't.
So, Tracy, are they looking for fleece or actual spun wool? Like, they want raw fleece that they can make into something, or because we definitely have both kind of thing. But like we can do raw fleece, or I'm looking into getting my fleece sent away to be processed in this next upcoming year, because just time is not allowing me to expand that side of our enterprise.
We actually have we've grown garlic in raised beds. We did was it the Siberian garlic? Yeah. Went for miles.
Yeah, that was in raised beds.
We did the Siberian garlic in a raised bed. It did okay.
It's hard to say because it was a different type than what we planted in the ground, so it wasn't really a fair comparison. Because
it came through the winter, no problem.
It came through and really nice and in good shape. We didn't lose one clove. Like, they all developed into a new bulb, but I would say they were smaller. The bulbs themselves were smaller,
but that could be the bed, because it was a
Living Rogue Life. How are you tonight?
New bed, so because it had only been there a year.
Yeah,
that one, yeah.
So I think the longer the bed's there, the better the soil, the better it would do. And it came through the winter, no problem. We covered it the same as what we did in the ground. And big fans of using the mulch.
Yes, yeah.
May try to use mulch for everything.
Well, I think this year we're going to do, we got a third, hey, honey badgers, we got a third type of garlic, just because the garlic was just such an amazing crop. So now we're garlic obsessed. And the one thing that was shocking was I actually had to go buy garlic for canning, because we use so much for canning that I was worried we weren't going to have enough for replanting, because we wanted to grow a bigger patch next year. So yeah, but
yeah, we don't have a full weight on what we actually produced yet, but
not yet. No,
it's a lot of,
yeah. We've done a lot of, we haven't actually finished weighing it all, but that's okay. Do you think so? Okay, so going to Tracy, they wanted to make sweaters. So I do not have anything spun at this time. They'd have to be spinning it themselves. in the long run, I was selling some, but then the farm has kind of expanded, and so I haven't had time to do a lot of spinning.
Maybe that'll be a this winter project.
But that's
see
where
if
I'm
you can get
looking
through
into
some.
the getting. That's where I'm looking to get it processed by somebody else, which
That
then
sounds-
takes us into Scott's thing there about checking the folks from Carlton Place.
I don't know if we kind of looked into it.
They didn't seem like they did Icelandic fleece.
Because it's a longer fleece.
Yeah.
So
it
it's-
seems to be only certain mills will deal with specialty fibers.
Mhm.
So I did find one very well priced, but it's like a 6-month waiting list to get stuff processed. So it won't be till next spring anyways. But yeah, but I am still going to send some because I just would like to have enough done.
Yeah, I don't think you need a permit per se for a farmer's market.
As long as you're selling the raw vegetable, not a processed food.
We still don't need a permit. That's different depending on where you are. Because like here, it's supposed to be done in a commercial kitchen if you're processing it more than just the raw vegetable. But check your like different farmers markets have different, I can say rules, but like I don't know if you can just show up. I think you have to sort it with or whoever's organizing it, however they have it set up. I know they're all different.
Yeah.
Some you can go for, some you have to buy a space.
Hey, little garden, big dreams. How you doing, Kathy?
Yeah. So, but I don't think you need a special permit per se.
I don't think so, but yeah, it's we haven't looked into it. I think that's something for us anyways. The farmers market thing was we weren't going to go down that line. We've talked about doing a little like kind of stand at the end of the lane type thing to sell any extra stuff we had, and that would also allow me to sell some mittens or things like that at the right time of year.
Yeah.
But that's kind of as far as we've really gone down the line. We're more doing it for our own use and that sort of thing.
And going to Honey Badger's comment, you missed all the technical difficulties at the beginning.
Oh my goodness!
That was human error, technically.
Big time human error. I don't know what we did. We have real trouble. We need to invest in a webcam. It just has to happen.
I wouldn't have solved that problem. I just gotta...
By Christmas, we will have a webcam.
For a second.
By Christmas, a webcam is going to be necessary. But that's okay. Everybody kind of bears with us for our technical issues. But I guess getting you up to date. So we had a great visit with my family. They were here for 2 weeks, so that was awesome. But then, of course, that put everything back. And we tried to kind of hold off on as much of the canning and work stuff as possible so that we could do quality family time. So then that put us to a week of there's no way we can do our live because we've been canning until 1 a.m, trying to get stuff, used before it rotted. Our freezers are full, so we can't put anything else in the freezer. So anyways, trials and tribulations up here at Hickorycroft Farm. Oh, he's back. We didn't even miss you. Oh, thank you for coming in, Tracy. Have a good day at work tomorrow. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I couldn't imagine. You work so hard. And I did notice, I don't know if you're still here, but I did notice that you were getting awfully close to the 1,000 subscribers. So
yes, we were talking about that the other day.
Yes. But I think it'll be coming pretty quick for you. Sorry, I bumped ahead just to make sure I didn't miss her.
Yeah, I'm coming back. Apologize about that. We were out digging up some potatoes today, and there's a little bit of ragweed out there.
Yeah, you got in the ragweed.
Yeah, never goes well.
Although we have a lot less ragweed here than we used to have at our other place. But
yep, and we have a lot more animals that seem to eat it.
Yeah.
Hello, Guten Gardening. How are you guys tonight?
Yeah, hope well. We've seen that you've been doing some wild and crazy harvesting as well. I love your, hey, Indiana back here, gardener. I love your plan there on making sure you put X amount of meals away every harvest for preserving. I think that's a great way to do it. Mm-hmm. One thing what was the thing that Living Traditions did? Every little bit counts challenge. Every bit counts. I don't know if anybody's heard about this. Anyways, it's over now, but for the month of August, they it's a challenge to put away something, pardon me, every day, like can or freeze or preserve something every day for the month of August in order to have it for.
It's a great idea. I think
Yeah.
our only problem is we end up usually it's September.
Yeah.
Before the
Well, that's it. But
August
I mean,
is kind of enough.
maybe we
when-
should do a northern every bit counts challenge, because none of our stuff is ready to harvest right at the beginning, right? Hey, Aussie Garden, how are you doing?
Hello, Full-Time Dream.
I thought I already said hello to Full Time Dream earlier, but
Oh, maybe you
sorry,
did when I wasn't here.
that's okay. You can say it again.
Nothing wrong with being fashionably late. That's usually us,
Yeah.
including being fashionably late to our own lives.
That often does
That
happen.
often happens too.
Yes, but
Yeah, they preserved every day in August.
yeah,
We're pretty much the same, but it's September.
yeah. Ours is that's our dilemma, because for the first 2 weeks in August we really had nothing. I had fruit, that sort of stuff, but
Well, yeah, a lot more stuff that is just fresh, sort of fresh eating.
yeah. And then the real canning started that
The
third
heavy.
week of August. It was just like, bam, here it comes. We're in trouble.
A lot of our stuff seemed to take a bit longer. It's like the eggplants. They kind of did nothing. Didn't I know they are often that way, but they did nothing, and then they just kind of went boom, and they're full of eggplants,
Oh,
which is an awesome problem to have.
we have so many. We planted 38 eggplant plants, and I'm glad we did, because they were really slow. But now every day I go out and I harvest like 15 eggplants.
Yeah, but a good problem to have.
I know. I'm making a whole lot of ratatouille.
Canning venison's a good thing to be doing.
I have some venison in the freezer. I want to do some
like
stew.
canned venison. It's quite good.
Mm-hmm. About the canned venison. Are you doing it just on its own, like just pressure can plain, or are you going to make some? Are you making a stew or something like that? Hi, just St. Louis. How you doing? Hopefully good. Lots of fermenting. Yes, I've only
You've
done
been doing a bit.
salsa, although I did find I've got 2 cabbages, so I'm excited because I am going to get to do some. Oh my goodness, my brain.
You're fermenting.
Sauerkraut.
Yes.
Yes.
You should get that.
Yes. And I don't know if it's really counts as fermenting, but I'm making apple cider vinegar as well. That's kind of fermenting. So.
Yeah. As far as mulching the garlic, we did. We mulched it pretty heavy, and I'm pretty glad we did, because it. I don't know. It was a lot of mulch, and by the time, over winter it kind of mulched down, but then it pretty much stayed right up until the harvest. We put enough on that we didn't have to reapply or anything. It worked quite well.
Yeah,
so, and
the mulch
would
we
definitely
went
work well.
Like you went about 3 inches on top of
Something like that.
when we planted it.
We took the square bales apart and just
put
took
the
out
whole
compressed
flake
pieces,
and
there was quite a bit there.
Yeah. Do we know much about? I'm learning about fermenting. I will admit I was not a fermenter. I've been canning for over 10 years. And I loved canning and thought, no, I'll never ferment. I don't want to. I was scared almost of it because I did canning. And last year I tried fermenting for the first time and loved it.
Good night, living a rogue life.
Yeah.
Tongue twister.
I did salsa, and I did the hot peppers last year, the sauerkraut. What else did I do? That was kind of it. But
turnips.
And the turnips, the pickled turnips. Yeah, that was a good one. But anyways, just a few little things so far, but I'm learning. I would like to do more.
It's amazing how long it actually keeps.
Yeah.
When you do the fermenting. When you've got I guess it is fermenting your apple cider vinegar experiment.
Yeah, that's just it too. So, yes, Guten Yarn, we have a lot of eggplant. And it's not something that freezes fantastically. So, I mean, I'm trying to can.
It does.
Well, yeah, I've been doing a lot of ratatouille, which is a great way to use it. And we did do it in roasted vegetables in the freezer, which was fine. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to start making a couple meals, just like, the eggplant type lasagna, that sort of thing.
The layered,
yeah.
A couple recipes that we were looking at.
Sorry, I wanted to go back up. I didn't see what Kathy's comment was there. It's in caps there.
Have you estimated how much you need to can to last you the year? You were starting to.
Well, we're trying to figure out what
You're doing it
is
by
realistic.
meals.
I'm doing it by meals. Like I'm trying to eat one meal a day out of a jar, basically. So
I thought it was 2 or 4 a week. Is it one a day?
one a day was what I was trying to do.
Hmm.
Whether it be a stew or a soup at lunch or curry sauce or pasta sauce or that sort of thing. That's kind of my goal. And then, of course, we have all of our condiments, ketchups, jams, barbecue sauce, all that sort of thing as well. So I think we ended up that we thought we would need around the 361 quart jars of preserved food of some sort, soup, stew, that sort of thing. And then I have all my pasta sauces. I then have a veggie jar that goes in with the pasta sauce. So I don't preserve them together. I preserve
the ratatouille type stuff.
Well, the ratatouille is its own thing. And then I have marinara sauce. And then, so when I go downstairs and I make a meal, I grab one marinara sauce and one veggie in a jar. And then I just pour them together and add meat at the time of cooking for the most part.
Which works pretty nicely.
So I would really like to next year have a better idea of what we actually need. Right now, I'm just filling the pantry back up and kind of aiming for that one jar a day. And then hopefully by canning season next year, we'll be able to kind of go through it and see how much did we actually eat of that? Because
and what did we eat the most of, etc.
Exactly. What didn't get eaten, that sort of thing.
I'm going to go back up and
sorry.
There's some good comments here, but I agree. The packing the meat, the venison, just kind of as it is, and then you can use it for anything else. When you open it,
now I have a question when you're sorry, and we'll have to scroll down to see the answer, but I've not actually done the pressure canning of the venison. Do you pack it raw and then just pressure can it? I know that with our rabbit, that's what they say to do is you pack it raw, and same thing with chicken, pack it and then just cook it. I've never actually pressure canned just the meat. I've always made it into something first. So I'm curious to try it.
Pretty sure you can do both.
Yeah. And well, and if they've done it before, they might know which way works better. Like I don't want to waste time. I'd rather, if it works better to do it raw, then do it that way. I'm just kind of nervous to do it that way.
I'm going back to Brampton Gardner's comment about the pickles, because you tried some fermented pickles and they didn't turn out super fantastic either. They worked, but you didn't like the flavor of them.
They went soft really fast.
But then the other fermented stuff, the pickled turnips are amazing.
Yeah. I tried to do like the long triangular ones, like what you get at the restaurant beside your pickle, the pickle beside your sandwich. I tried to make those and the taste was right, but they didn't stay crispy and I don't like that. So I don't know whether I over fermented them. Like you have to be really careful to make sure that you get just the right number of amount of time. And I think I left mine a day too long and that just caused them to go soft before they got in the fridge. But I don't have very, very few cucumbers this year. So. The pickle spears, yes. So I didn't have anything to try it again.
You said pack it raw.
Okay.
What was I'm going to Honey Badger's comment up here. We're trying not to get too far behind, but fermenting the tomatoes to use in a sandwich. You probably could. The only thing that I would say is they probably are going to be quite soft and liquidy.
This is what I'm finding with the salsa.
There's a lot of liquid.
It's great. I love it. Even when it gets runnier, I don't mind it because I love the flavor. But the tomatoes break down quite quickly, I find, as a ferment. So to use on a sandwich, I don't know.
A firmer tomato might work better.
Yeah, that's true. I know people ferment the green ones, which are obviously very hard.
Work quite well, actually.
Yeah.
But curried eggplant, we should try that, actually.
I want to. I'm not sure if it was. I think it was Wicked Awesome Gardener did a video or something. Somebody did one on the curry eggplant that we follow that I put in my recipes thing.
My Aussie Garden had a great comment about great, but it's like a two-pronged one because he said he loves the fermented stuff, but nobody else does. So excellent point about putting your resources into things that people are actually going to use. You say this all the time with the canning. It's like there's so many canning recipes. some really interesting ones, intricate ones, whatever. But then you kind of go, but are we going to eat it?
Yeah.
And you have to try new things to
Well, and
see.
this is the thing for me. I have to have extra product in order to really try to do it because I know what works in the canning. So I don't want to waste stuff. You know, the one thing I will say that's nice about the fermented is you can do small batches, which is really nice because like you can just do 1 or 2 jars and it's fine. Yeah. This is
Yeah, that's the eventual goal, to make enough / grow enough to last 1 year. But the one thing we find is the year isn't like a calendar year. It's all offset because you really like you have your big garden harvest in like sort of August, September, October. For us, it's August, September, October. But then you really don't get anything again until like June at the earliest.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a little bit of greens and stuff, but it's interesting because the leanest time is like spring.
Yeah.
For where we are.
And by then you've eaten all the really good stuff that you really wanted. It's like, you know, the people that only shop once a month. And then that first week after you shop is amazing because you have so much stuff. And then it kind of gets worse and worse and worse. That's us with what we have.
But that's where the season extension stuff is nice too, right? For certain things, figuring out what to grow at certain times of the year to give you that. And eating seasonally, basically.
I always... Sorry, what do we? Oh, we always pack venison and.
Yeah, and seen it done both ways, but
yeah,
be nice to do it because you're pressure canning it. The raw would be nice because then you can do whatever you want with it.
Well, and some people say you pack it raw and then you put vinegar in it, which is almost like a marinade. We've looked up a lot of different things, but I do have some stuff in the freezer that I'd really like to get packed in jars.
We'll have to do that one, the fermented beetroot, because we actually are finding that we're really good at growing beets.
Apparently. We have a lot of beets, yes.
And we do some, like we pickle beets and we do some other things with them, but because we've never grown a lot of them before, we've never had a lot of them to experiment with. So it's like, let's figure out some new ways to use beets. So that would be something to try because I bet you there's a little bit of beet in the fermented turnips. So it probably, I can imagine it's amazing.
Well, yeah, because you like the beets out of the pickled turnips, but they have I would imagine fermented beets have a sweeter taste. I'm guessing, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to look it up because that's something definitely that we wanted to give a shot at. And we have a lot of beets still in the ground in the garden, like a lot of beets.
That's another big harvest yet to come.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I can understand. I like eggplant, but I can totally understand the texture thing because it is weird.
Well, and the one thing too is I hate the big eggplants. What are they?
Well,
I don't know. We used to grow them. Nobody would eat them. I hated that they went all icky in the middle. It was just, so we switched to the ping tongue, which are the long, skinny guys. Love them. Love them.
Yeah, they're nice. They actually, and I'm not gonna say they have a long-term storage, but they do actually stay.
But for cooking purposes, they stay a better texture. I don't like when things like the other one would go mushy. Like we tried to make a lasagna out of the big ones, and anyways, no offense to anybody that likes it, but it was not our thing. And then we got the ping tongue ones and love them. So yes.
Yeah, and we grew 30 of them, 32 of them,
38
of them.
Yes.
So really enjoyed it.
I have not found eggplant that I like. Now, did you, Indiana Backyard Gardener, because you tried the white one, right?
How did that?
And it did not work, right? It didn't grow. And then did you grow it a second time? Just curious as to like whether you did get to try it or not. That was all. But we okay, hang on. I'm bouncing around because I can see on my phone the most recent comments come up, but then we go back to the screen behind where we actually are in the chat. And I see on my phone that Scott had said there about that he should try those. So if you're talking about the eggplants, then we can send you some of those seeds if you want some of the other seeds.
And
Because
Indiana Backyard Gardener said she did try it again, didn't care for it. So that's good to know.
yes, okay. So that's still the
if
same
you're-
as the big purple ones. Because
Yeah.
I don't like the taste and texture of the big purple ones.
I'm gonna go back up to April's comment. We've never really canned green tomatoes because
And hello, April.
Yes, hello. we never really have very many.
I don't
I don't
really
know why we never end up with an accumulation.
I've
of-
done green tomato relish.
Hmm.
Other than that, I've never used. We always just bag them or put them in the windowsill and let them ripen. And whatever doesn't ripen is, by that point, we've done so much with tomatoes. Usually, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm not sure
I
if
can
we've
definitely
gone
see
up.
that, or definitely can. The meat. I'm going back to the venison from Full Time Dream. That it would create its own juice when you're canning it. That makes complete sense. And you are cooking it to some degree in the pressure canner. So
Yeah.
we'll have to try it. We keep talking about trying it with some rabbit too.
And I see
Right.
L down there says that the fermented beets are a sweet, so they're not going to be the same taste as the ones that are in the
turnip.
turnip. So I've got a star beside that one. I'm going to
Look
try
some
that
stuff up.
because my fermenting lids are free, although I do want to make some more fermented salsa, so there'll be a timeshare there. But and then my sauerkraut. So
I was gonna say good night. I think you said you were gonna head out. So good night, rambling with the Bruns.
yeah, have a fantastic night.
Mhm.
Get some rest.
We should try just
Baba
St. Louis. The
Baba ganoush, is that
That's-
eggplant as well?
Yes, it's good. Because we like that, so that's something we should look into.
Thank you for that idea. That's awesome.
And that's cool. You can pressure can it because that would make it really awesome.
Yeah,
Because I like it as whenever we get. The
I should
opportunity to have
spell it
some.
right so that I can Google it later. There we are. Pressure can. Okay.
Yeah, that the funny part of it is when they're selling garden straw or farm straw, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So getting it for $11 each is way
That's
better.
pretty bad. Yeah, I would definitely be
better.
paying that and not yeah.
Oh, green tomato chutney. That could be interesting.
Green tomato chutney.
Yes,
Okay.
we did get your email. We just haven't got back to you yet.
I know, and we said as
We
we
said
were
we should have tried to get back to you before the live tonight, and it didn't happen.
yeah.
But
Hey, me and you acres, how
Hello.
you doing? How are things going on the new place? I know we are so behind on videos. We watched you guys clearing trees and that sort of stuff, and then we have not gotten back. Oh, I know you're in the same boat. It's just crazy time of year. But we will get back into the groove. We're actually liking that the nights are drawing in because then you have to
Not
shut
outside.
down earlier. But while I say that, we're out there with lamps and stuff. So I guess we're still not quite shut down.
we were harvesting potatoes the other day. It just about dark.
Yeah. And then it started to rain.
Yeah, that's true. That is the end of that.
I got. But yes, we are fantastic, I think.
Except for the ragweed.
Well, yes,
I
Chris was.
apologize for the.
Yeah, Chris was. We were digging up some potatoes. That story of our lives. Of course, we didn't tend and worry about the garden, so they were full of ragweed and all other sorts of weeds, which we then pulled out right around Christopher, pulling them all out and throwing them over for the sheep to eat. And I think all the seed stuff and that got into you.
Well, it's still pollinating. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one advantage to the frost is it kills the ragweed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chrissy, I think you've probably hit the nail right in the head. They look the same. They're just a different packaging.
Yes. Have a good night, Kathy. Or I guess good day, I suppose. We're on night, you're not. Good rest of the day.
But thank you for coming in.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a bittersweet thing. Getting dark earlier allows you to, I'm going to say, relax, even though it's not always relaxing, as opposed to June when it's like 11 o'clock at night and still light out and you just feel like you just got to keep going.
Yes.
But the other downside is when you're trying to do stuff outside, you realize that you don't have as much time to do it.
Yeah. Well, but it's nice because we're getting kind of to that. The garden was I will admit, we went quite big this year, and it was a bit overwhelming. So now we're getting into that point where we've kind of plateaued and it's just slowly coming down.
Well, most
And
of
it
the
feels-
big things left to come out are not things that have to be processed right
Like
away.
there's only like 300 pounds of food sitting in my kitchen trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it.
There's that much?
Oh, yes. Well, all the potatoes are there.
Yeah, that's true. They just go downstairs.
Yeah.
But Ramekin's a good name. That suits a young ram.
Where are you?
Eldan's comment. I'm up at the top. I'm kind of keeping up.
Ramekin. That's cute. We're very creative. Aw. Well, we have black ram and gray ram. And then beardy.
Yeah.
And
Or
then
the
the
little
two that we
ones.
got that are
They
they're
came with
greedy and Rasta.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
we
names
haven't
they came
actually
with.
done a video on them yet. We do have to. Hey, Bettina.
Yeah. Hello.
But hopefully your little guy is doing good. Ours are still
Starting to get-
behaving. They're not in full on, thinking about the ladies yet.
No, but one of the big ones has realized he can use his horns on the board.
We
It's not
never
too
should have
bad,
bought adult rams. We always said we were
Two of
never
them.
buying adult rams, and then we bought 2 of them. So anyways, it's been kind of fun. We can't wait for breeding season to be done.
Mhm. I'm a little bit jealous that your ragweed's already gone.
Well, I've been trying to pull it out like as much as I can. Every time I walk
Oh,
by,
yeah.
I pull it out.
It's
but
not nearly as bad.
yeah.
But even the kids were a little bit stuffy.
Have a good night, Daz. Or I guess it's day for you guys. I keep forgetting. But thank you very much for coming into the chat.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say. It's been staggering, like actually tracking what you bring in the house, because it's like when we did the sunflower, we haven't done the video yet, but we harvested our mammoth Russian mammoth sunflowers, and like I was surprised. Now we weighed them kind of the whole flower head because we haven't taken the seeds off
Yeah.
yet, but it was a lot of weight.
Yeah. 52 pounds of
52 or
sunflowers?
58.
Or maybe I might have been 58. I don't remember. I'll have to look
one
back.
of those
But
two. But
yeah, lots of produce definitely coming in. So hopefully everybody's paying attention, because we're thinking about doing a end of year prize giveaway type thing. Just for our loyal watchers here, little hint that
and the Canada crookneck.
well, the
squash
Canada
harvest is
crookneck
coming.
squash, yes, that'll be something I will say here, because we still have 15 people. If you have not watched the Canada crookneck squash video and made your guess on how much we're going to harvest this year, make sure you do so this week, because we're probably going to harvest those next weekend and video and figure out our winner, because I think it's time.
It will be time by the end of next week.
Yeah.
I
So we the vegetation is just starting to die back. I actually just filmed a garden tour. So I just filmed a garden tour, and it kind of shows it a little bit more just for a sneak peek for people. So
They're
if
starting
you
to peek out from
yeah,
underneath the
you can
foliage.
start to see, I'm pretty sure I was up to, didn't I count up to 48 of them?
I think so.
Something like that.
And there's
Anyways,
still more.
and I didn't dig in it. I just counted ones that I could see kind of peeking through the greenery. So as everybody knows, you can go back and you can change your guess at any time. But once we harvest and do the video, obviously it's over. So yeah, if you haven't, find that video and make a guess, because there is a prize for that one. And then we have a big prize coming for the end of year harvest, if anybody can guess how much they think we harvested, because we've been really strategic, not strategic on purpose. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I'm really excited about this one. It's kind of like Halloween. I'm just super excited. But so we decided we were going to see if any of our loyal subscribers could guess how much we were going to have harvested for this year. So that is just a little hint for you that it is coming, and we will kind of do a video with some more information on that.
Completely switch gears.
Yes.
I'm going to,
I'm gonna shut up.
me and you acres. That's awesome that you finally got your civic address stuff sorted out, because and I see Honey Badgers has another
There's
comment
got
down
two.
further that it took quite a while. I mean, that sort of stuff is never fun when takes forever for something. I'm going to say so simple in a way, but that's awesome that it finally happened, and no worries about the subscriber thing, because that just seems to happen. We have the same thing where it's like, you've been following somebody and then suddenly, oh, you're not.
Oh,
it happens all the time.
Who's the one that's always gone? Every time we go to watch them, we're not subbed. I can't even think of who it is now. But anyways, there's a couple that, like, YouTube must just do something weird, and that's just what it is.
Meh.
So we roll with it and just kind of go with that. People will find us again.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Going down to so a question: do we have employees? No.
No.
This is all just us.
And Chris has a day job. He works 9 to 5. So sometimes more. Yeah. We have 2 kids. Do they count? No. They're not.
If you combine them, they wouldn't even be part-time.
Very true. But they do make a really good effort.
Oh, they're very helpful in some ways. Yes. They were very helpful the other night with potatoes, because we had them all laid out, kind of curing on a board, and then we wanted to bring them in before they got wet and rained on. And they
sorted them into sizes so that we
took all the really little ones and put them into a big bucket for just eating
first.
Yeah. And then put the others away by variety. So they did a really good job.
We had we're not finished our potato harvest yet. It's all going to be one big video, but I have to admit, it wasn't,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of potatoes, but it wasn't as many as I thought it was going to be.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's still a whole garden we haven't harvested yet.
I know, but still. We have a lot of food, but it'll be interesting to see, because the goal is to really not have to go to the grocery store. This actually came to me as an idea. Well, it's not an idea. We've always kind of tried to do this, but
next year,
Tracy, who was in the chat earlier today, from Tomorrow a Day Farm, she did canning for her family, and basically all winter didn't go to the store. And I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if we could do that. So we're trying. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see if all of this will pay off. Are we actually going to stay home and eat it?
Yes. We usually well, we do,
yeah.
But the big thing is there's certain things that we can't grow.
But I'm saying it's also, we've stockpiled those things though, so that we don't have to go and get them.
That's the prepping side, right?
Yeah,
you can get them at a good price and stuff. But
yeah,
I think we need to do a better job. Like what they are, but just a better job of tracking everything, right? The more you track, the more you know, and that's going to be the next. Because when you say go to the grocery store, it's mostly for that kind of stuff that you couldn't.
Yes.
We can't make salt.
Thanks for coming in, April. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you.
But yes, I don't know if an employee ever would even, we don't ever want to expand beyond what we need. And to be honest, I think this year is probably the most intense work year, because we're still setting up the farm. Every year, as more and more of the farm gets set up, I think it will get easier.
It does, because look at the chickens, right? The chickens aren't even fully set up. But
night, Brampton Gardner. Have a good night.
Parts of it that are set up enough that it just works.
Yeah.
And that's where it's the same with the tomatoes.
Hey, see the Sweeney's Creek Farm. Good to see you. Yeah, hopefully it will.
Oh, it does. It just takes time. Everything takes time.
Brampton Gardner wants the prize. I better go and check it. Can't remember what you guessed.
Yeah, but anybody can keep guessing up until the harvest.
You can, and like we said, you can change your guess if you feel that you might not have been accurate, as we kind of reveal little tidbits in the, like I say, there's a garden tour video that's coming up on Thursday. where I showed a bit more of that patch of Canada crookneck squash. So anyways, I was going to go back. I don't know if you talked about it actually, because or is just St. Louis still in here?
I think it was.
Anyways, he was talking about the partridge Chanticleers and how much he liked the breed, and that's wonderful. And one of the things that we had said, I'm just touching on it, and we'll touch about it in the. No, you can. Sorry, I'm bouncing around. You can change your guess if you feel that you are not confident in it. It's one. Is that your final answer?
I think what we'll do, because I'm pretty sure you can change your comments or
you edit your comments.
No, but you can eventually change them so that they're turned off.
Oh,
right?
yeah, so that comments can't be changed.
We'll leave the comments open so you can go back and edit them right up until we've done that. So when the video comes out for the harvest, we'll turn it off so nobody can change again.
Yeah, well, we'll have already announced the winner in that video.
Yeah, but we'll turn it off just before that one comes on.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can do that. So you've got lots of time to re-guess.
Yes, we'll figure it out.
But yeah, I'm going to go back to the garden or garlic scapes. We still actually have ours in the fridge. They've stayed in really good shape because you were going to make a.
I wanted to make a pesto video and then I didn't. I already made one batch of pesto out of the garlic scapes. But yes, we still have a bunch of garlic scapes stored in the fridge.
Pickling them would be interesting too.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I could try that then, since I didn't do the pesto.
Mm-hmm. I'm amazed at how well they've kept. But
what do we got here? I pickle and fruit scapes. Yeah. Well, that'll be kind of interesting. I don't know if I've got enough to make it really worthwhile now because I don't have that many left. But something to think about for sure for next year.
Oh, that's the nice part. Next year we will have lots.
Yes. We're going bigger with the garlic patch next year because the rest of my canning is store-bought. Store-bought. Hello, Wicked Awesome Gardening. How you doing?
Good night.
Yeah. Good night, just St. Louis. Have a good night. Thank you very much for popping in. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. The garlic thing is.
I think
you actually have fresh garlic. It's pretty awesome.
We did use it, and then we used a lot.
Realize that you need
I thought I was going to be able to make garlic powder and that sort of stuff. No, because what did we end up? We planted 290 cloves of garlic, and of those 290, 272 produced bulbs, which was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. So we were very, very pleased with that. Thought that was great. And then I got through more than half of it and then thought, uh-oh, am I going to have enough for planting? Because we wanted to make a bigger patch for next year. And so, yeah, I stopped using it so that we could make sure we had enough good ones selected for next year. So late season, I'll have some more that we use up. There'll be a
little bit more.
Yeah.
Some of the smaller ones and stuff that we don't replant.
Yeah.
But
oh yes, tzatziki. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be another thing to try.
Oh yeah, I've really gone down the line of making a whole bunch of different our own salad dressings, that sort of stuff. Because again, we kind of pride ourselves on buying good quality stuff. Nothing added, no additives, all that sort of stuff. Which they're the expensive versions anyways. So it's actually been pretty good for.
That's a whole nother discussion on this is something we've been talking about too, because kind of all this year we started with the changes around the homestead kind of thing, right? Which of course, getting rid of the cows was the big one, but you can go.
Hey, Drops.
I'm going to say you can go down the line of taking anything, all of this growing food, and whether it's plants or animals, and you can always rationalize that it's cheaper and easier to buy it. But it's that extra part, like you say, when you want something that's just simple ingredients or what have you, it's and some things you can grow yourself, you can't actually buy. So it's those are the types of values where it's
doesn't matter.
You can't really put a price on it, which everybody knows that, but it's emphasizing where those those kind of things are.
Exactly. Catalina dressing, is that the red one? Is it like a reddy orange color and kind of sweet tasting?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna write that one down.
That's
I
not
never
one
even
we've ever
thought about
tried,
that.
actually.
No. I'm making good notes tonight.
More
Catalina
things
dressing.
to try.
Yeah.
More things to do.
Well, that's just it. I mean, the only one that we really haven't gone down the line of making ourselves is the Caesar, because I don't do the anchovy paste and all that sort of stuff.
Well, you can't really get that here.
No.
You, well, you can't. You can
Well,
buy
you buy it, but then it's you might as well just buy the dressing.
Yeah.
That's the only one that we still buy, but otherwise we make all our own.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
I should say you probably can make the anchovy stuff out of rainbow smelt, but then you'd have to go catch the rainbow smelt.
Ew. No, not
Extra
happening.
steps to things.
Yeah, exactly. Not happening. But yeah, it's kind of what did you say here?
Strawberry vinaigrette.
Strawberry
That'd be a
vinaigrette,
good one.
yeah.
Red vinegar.
What was it that I was saying earlier? Was it Wicked Awesome Gardener had made it?
I remember you talking about it, but don't remember what it was. On that note, what's your spoiler, I suppose, but what's your cooking video going to be?
Yeah, what's your video going to be out? No, it wasn't Ratatouille. I did what, but oh, darn it.
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me. It'll probably come to me too late, but I was talking about you earlier, so maybe your ears were ringing.
Okay, so you use red vinegar, wine, and Worcestershire sauce.
Really?
Okay. We'll have to look into it.
Red wine vinegar.
Okra
Okay.
couscous. That's something, actually, the okra is something we want to grow. Well, we started some this year. We got them from Wild Edibles as part of a secret seed thing.
But they didn't
and
grow.
they didn't come up, and hers didn't come up either. But so we never actually planted. We had another variety, but next year that's something I'd like to. I've grown it in the past, but I forget the variety I've got, but we've got one that's supposed to do pretty well.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to try that next year. That's
That'd
a
be
next
nice.
year experiment.
Okra. I don't think I've ever eaten okra.
You probably have eaten in something and you didn't know. Not that
Wow.
it's super common, but where we are.
Yeah. I don't think I conscientiously, I don't think I've actually eaten it if I knew.
Oh, and it's been years since I've grown it. The Clemson spineless. That's the one that I grew in the past, and the one I'll have to look it up. I got it from Baker Creek this year. It's supposed to be similar to the Clemson spineless, but it's like heavy. Is it heavy hitter or something?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been called heavy hitter. It was supposed to be a bit more prolific.
So, Drops, do you make your own mayonnaise? And if so, what oil do you use?
Yeah, because that's something we have done it, but we don't do it regularly because of the oil part. But
well, it's just made straight olive oil. I don't love it, but avocado oil is very expensive. So I'm just curious as to what, if you make your own, which oil do you use? Like, what do you like best? Because it seems like a lot of people use different stuff.
Well, and that's another one of those things where it's like you can buy reasonably decent mayonnaise. It doesn't have a lot of stuff added to it, but if you're concerned about the ethical side of the egg production,
Well,
you pretty much want to make it yourself.
Have a good night, Cindy. Thanks for sticking with us for a bit.
Yeah,
Much appreciated, and definitely get under the covers, stay warm, because we're in the same boat. The heat is not coming on, so but I like that when you get to cuddle underneath like a whole bunch of quilts. There's nothing like hiding under a quilt.
That's interesting, Crucy, but I'll have to look into that a bit more. I like I say, I just kind of read a little bit where they said about the ball, like each individual clove will get a little bigger over the summer, but it won't actually get to the point of producing. But I'll do some reading on that. But okra is quite a pretty,
and they're a nice
addition.
tall plant, which I think works really well for in gardens and that sort of thing, right?
Never tried the red burgundy one. I'm sure it looks pretty too.
Yeah,
I imagine.
Yeah.
And usually things that have nice bright colors are quite good for you.
Red burgundy.
I'll have to look into that one.
It's one of my favorite colors.
I'm pretty sure this heavy hitter one is a green pod. from what I remember.
Hmm.
I remember doing some reading on it and then didn't actually plant it. Okay, so Drops uses the avocado olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you could use
Maybe
a
I
bit
can
of, you could probably
mix
do
them.
both. Because then it would just, it's the flavor, right?
Yeah.
Of finding the flavor.
Anyway, it's one of those things. It's kind of like what we were talking about with the fermenting versus canning. It's one of those like, I hate wasting product, and if I don't like the taste, I'm not going to eat it. So it's kind of one of those.
That's something to play around with.
Yeah.
It's an easy thing to play around with.
Yeah. Well, and like, yeah. Or maybe you do just bulk it out with the other oil, like what they do in the store, because it's got the taste. But anyways, we'll play around with that because we'd like to get to where we're doing more of the well, it'd be nice to make almost all your condiments.
Hmm.
So we'll see.
I want to experiment with mustard.
Avocado oil is 2 liters at Costco for $17.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad. I
That's
saw we don't have a Costco membership, but we saw what was it? Metro. Metro had 1 point, what did I say when I came home? Was it 1.65 liters was around $17.
Which still isn't terrible.
Yeah, which isn't bad, but if you're using saying that, tomato season's almost over. During tomato season, we go through a lot of mayo because we eat a lot of tomato sandwiches. Yes. That was like a staple, tomato sandwiches. So
I'm curious too on the okra because we haven't gone too far down this line, but drying things to make like the herbal teas and that. Cat. I'm gonna have to pick that up later.
Cat tumble.
Going back to okra. So it's in the hibiscus family. I wonder if you can use the flowers from okra similar to dried flowers from some of the other hibiscus for like the teas and stuff. Because if you could, and I've not looked into this at all, but if you could, that'd be kind of interesting. Because I know the flower is not that different. So
yeah,
something to think about. Maybe somebody here knows the answer.
Yeah, I thought it was expensive from Metro at the 17-18, but now I'm seeing Honey Badger says it's that much for 1 liter. So, but I'm going to keep my eyes out, see what I can find. You can eat the flour on the okra.
Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where I'm wondering if you can dry it to make the like a hibiscus type tea. Because
yeah,
it is in the hibiscus family, so hypothetically you should be able to. I'm really big on things if you can do multiple things with it. We were talking about this about beans, and I know boring subject, but like dry beans and whatnot, right? And bit of a spoiler alert, we've made a bit of a decision. We're going to see about switching almost completely to pole type beans because we just find the
bush
space.
beans are, yeah, we don't have space for them.
Well, we do, but not to do it well.
Yeah.
And so the pole beans are, and they're one of those changes coming.
Yeah. Okay, so she's got 1 liter for 14. So it's probably around the same price then.
It's not that bad in the grand scheme of things.
Scarlet runner beans. Even the roots? Wow.
That makes sense.
Huh.
Drops is sick of green beans.
It's funny how the beans and tomatoes, I think that's the...
Oh, India, the scarlet runner bean. I didn't get mine planted this year because I was at my friend Miles's place and he had it and I'd never tried them before. And as a fresh pod, they were amazing. You like eating green beans or yellow beans right off the plant. And I'm kind of...
It was funny. I gave him one the other... Was like
you were like,
2 or 3 days. I'm like, oh, this tastes so
bean.
good. This yellow bean. Try it. And then you could just see it was just like...
It was good. It was good, but it wasn't I don't know.
You were just making faces. It was like a 10-year-old making him choke down peas and broccoli. Oh.
But next year, I have a bunch of seeds for the Scarlet Runners, and they don't cross with the other beans, so I'm definitely going to get them planted next year.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Well, but they're pole beans.
Oh, yeah.
So
we just didn't get that far.
Oh, see, Indiana backyard gardener likes them too.
I didn't know you could eat the roots off them, though. That's interesting.
Yeah. Wow. You didn't do all your research now, did you?
I just know they taste good. And they have a huge bean, but
Yeah. It's the replay. Yeah, that was him. He's not a bean eater. And flowers.
I like them. I don't like them raw.
Well, Indiana Backyard Gardener is really talking up your Scarlet Runner beans. So we will be trying them next year. You better hope your beans are still good.
Oh, they should be.
Yeah, if not, you'll just buy more.
Well, the nice part is Scarlet.
Now you'll be like, oh, I better have 8 packs.
Yes, I have a tendency to do that. Not so much with beans.
Yes,
no.
you do.
No, I don't. We save a lot more beans. I'm curious what our bean harvest is actually going to end up looking like because we have a lot of dry beans.
It wasn't as good as some years.
The pole ones were, and they're not done yet.
And the purple bush beans Wicked Awesome Gardener had. Awesome. I don't know. We did the only bush bean that we grew. Well, we did the Ireland Creek Annie for drying, but is the black Valentine bean, and they are really good.
They're really good, but that's the one we're trying to find a black because we like the black dry beans. We're trying to find a black bean. Well, we think we found one actually because I think it's the Cherokee Trail of Tears.
Yeah, Trail of Tears, Black Cherokee.
We should do it.
Is what we're going to try next year.
We just find the bush ones, and it's partially the way we garden, but they just end up outcompeted and flopped over. And even when we give them the supports and stuff, they just don't. I don't know. They don't do as well for us.
Have a good night, me and you, Acres. I'm glad you were able to pop in, and hopefully we'll be able to reciprocate that because I saw you guys were back on Monday, and it was after we were outside, and then we came in, and I'm like, they did a live.
Yeah, I think we just missed you guys.
Yeah, we just come in, so hopefully next week now we'll know to watch for you, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to tune in next week. Watch next week, you'll be busy, but get a good sleep and good work on what you guys are doing there.
Yeah, and thanks for coming in. Oh, Wicked Awesome Gardener grew the Cherokee Trail of Tears. And what
did you like him? Because we're really nervous to change. Like we've been growing the Black Valentine for
they're really nice
10 years?
Plants, but
there's the Royal Burgundy bush beans.
That's an interesting. We actually have some seeds. I forget what they are. We got 2 new pole beans this year. One of them was a purple potted one, which we didn't actually get planted, which is okay. The other one was the Necra Gold yellow. I like that one. It was prolific. We're curious to see if the dry beans are very usable.
Yeah.
But
I should pickle some beans because I've got all those beans there. I should pickle them.
You could try pickling the.
Somebody said fermented beans were very good too. Is anybody fermented beans? Because that would be something I would try too. Maybe I should
like
just
the noodle beans, the red noodle beans. They've produced like mad this year.
I know that's what I've got tons of. So
which is good because they taste good. But again,
so Wicked Awesome Gardener said they are super prolific and tasted great. So that's awesome to know.
That is good to know.
See some video on the Trail of Tears this week. Well, see, we want them for actually the dried black bean. So that's kind of the intent. Like we usually don't, because we have some other beans that we use for green beans and stuff like that. But we wanted to switch from our bush black dry bean to a pole bean. So very curious. So was it like one of those ones like, you know, your trellis where you sit underneath it and you just look at all the beans? Was it that prolific? I'm curious.
I imagine so. Yeah.
You can see how mine came out. So, oh, nice. That's what I like. My noodle beans this year were just, I mean, the temptation is there to make a longer tunnel because they were so beautiful, but I can't actually consume them all and they don't work as a dry bean. So,
not super well.
But if the Trail of Tears works that way, then maybe that's the one I'll do that way because we want lots of dry black beans.
Well, it's nice to have them.
Yeah.
Because that's another one of those things I know, like you were saying earlier about the canning, but that's something too that you can grow a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of work.
Another thing that I'd heard, sorry, I'm going back to Drops is there. He's talking about he'd never fermented beans, but did radishes. Somebody was talking about the radish,
The pods.
the seed pod that you pickle or ferment that. I don't know. I tried to eat one the other day. It wasn't very good.
They were pretty witty though, weren't they?
Yeah, it was pretty
were
witty.
pretty
I don't know.
long
Maybe,
past.
yeah, they're probably past when I can do that, but we've got tons of them that went to seed or whatever, have the seed pod on them.
I've heard of Kentucky Wonder too, because it's another pole bean.
Yeah,
It's a
I
big
think
green
so.
one, I think.
I can't remember what was the other one that I looked at last night. Turkey craw. That was the other
Sounds
one.
interesting.
That they use. It's
For baked
another
beans.
pole bean, but they use it for dry bean to make baked beans, and that's what I've been looking for years. Is a good bean to make baked beans because I love baked beans.
Well, that's an interesting idea. Oh, actually, I'm going to go to the Indiana Backyard Gardens one first. So you fermented some of the beans then? Because that would be something interesting to try. But Drops has a great idea of pickling them right in with the eggs. Because you like that one egg recipe.
Yeah.
That would probably be pretty good, actually.
Have a relish. It's egg on salad. That's a really good idea. I made my first batch of pickled eggs, and we finally got to taste test it. It had been what, three and a bit weeks, I guess we'd left it. And so we taste tested it because I didn't want to make a whole bunch of them if we didn't like it. And it was a big success. And we said about how they'd be great for making egg salad sandwiches or just put into a salad like as eggs and whatnot. So I actually quite like that idea of mixing other stuff in with it. That makes total sense.
Yeah. Hopefully your okra couscous recipe goes well and the filming goes well for it.
Yes, we'll have to watch for that one. I actually have couscous in the cupboard. I don't have okra though.
No,
but
next year.
Next year, yeah.
How do you like the Kentucky Wonder? Is it one that you can? What color are the dry beans on that, or like the seeds on that one? Just out of curiosity, because I've read about that one as like a fresh and green bean.
Yeah.
But never. Like that's my thing with the beans because you have such and such a separation distance to kind of keep them pure. But the pole beans, because they go up, you can have so much more biomass.
Yeah. White or brown?
White or brown. Okay.
The pickled eggs that I tried were like a sweet recipe. It was kind of like it had hot pepper flakes and sugar and vinegar and water and garlic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was pretty much it, to be
It was
honest.
pretty simple.
Yeah, it was very, very simple, which I like. I like it to be simple. But I only made like one jar just to try it before we wasted all of our eggs.
Well, now we can make more.
Yes, that's on.
Because we have a lot of
It's
eggs.
on the list because there's a lot of eggs, and our chickens are pumping them out again.
Yep, which is not a bad problem to have.
Mm-hmm. You add sugar, vinegar, and pickling. Yeah. So it was one a friend had just kind of wrote down quickly for me on a piece of paper, and I just wung it.
Yeah,
and it worked out
well.
good. Yeah. So I don't know how long they'll actually keep for, but
quite a while.
I'd imagine.
Something we never really have done much because we usually just eat them or cook with them fresh.
Yeah.
But we've got enough this year to actually warrant doing
What is fufu?
I don't know.
I like couscous or fufu.
Or is it tofu? Or should it be tofu?
Oh, maybe.
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe Drops will come back and tell us what fufu is. But yeah. I don't know. That's kind of that's us in a nutshell. We're just canning and trying to get stuff out of the garden before the bad weather comes. Like we said, this week we've got a couple days where it's risky at night. We've got 5 degrees. But of course we're living on the wild side, didn't cover anything. So, it'll probably be terrible. And then next week we're back up in the 20s during the day and only down to 11 at night. So we should be good. But some of them another thing we have to do is we need to get some stuff planted for fall.
Yeah.
We're
got
getting late,
vacation.
but we're still going to try. We've got some covers and things, and we want to do some stuff in the greenhouse,
Mhm.
which should probably be okay if it's in the greenhouse.
Oh, I
But-
imagine the greenhouse will. Oh, excuse me. I imagine things will be fine in the greenhouse until December, even if we get a bit of a cooler. That's interesting. We'll have to
Huh.
look into that.
I'll have to look into what that is.
Put cassava flour behind it because
So we
if you
know.
look up fufu, you probably are going
Gonna
to
get a dog.
Yeah.
Huh. We'll have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
I like this sort of stuff because we get all these ideas of things to try and stuff like that. So 48, that's probably pretty cool. That's getting.
I can't do the conversion.
I'm
yet,
terrible
but
with it, but 48 would be what, 10?
yeah, it's one of those things. Winter is coming, unfortunately.
Well, and they say it's going to
For any of
hit
us.
hard and fast here. We're supposed to be decent until mid-October, and then it's supposed to be cold.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be no messing around. Oh, Chrissy's got a thingy there. Go to
Okay.
the one at the back and open that in a different
open it
window,
up
and
in
I'll look
another
at.
window, and then we can open.
Yeah.
There we go.
And
Thank
then
you
we
for
can
saying
look at-
that.
Thank you, Chrissy. We'll have a look at that.
Like you say, I like learning new things.
You make it from scratch. I'm very curious on this. We learn all sorts of new food. Since we started YouTube, we've tried so many different things.
Mhm.
It's kind of fun because you actually get like that sort of a one-on-one conversation with people about how they enjoyed something, and then that makes you actually go out and try it because you're like, oh, you know what? They said it was good, and so why not? Okay, so most summer crops are not happy below 50. Okay. Yeah.
We haven't seen anything in our garden get.
Well, but we don't have any
unhappy.
summer crops left other than our summer squash.
Well, and you've got the summer squash are starting to die back and get the.
Oh, but they're
mildew,
still
but
pumping out.
They're still pumping out, and the sweet potatoes haven't done, like, they're still growing like mad.
Yeah.
They've completely. I'm really curious on the sweet potatoes that we did in the raised beds because I have a funny feeling they're going to produce better than the ones in the ground, just because I think the beds are going to give them more space to.
Mm-hmm.
That's my prediction. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. But the kale is on round 4 or 5 now. Like, it's really pumping out the kale now. And same with the Swiss chard, it's going like mad. The sugar beets are growing like crazy. They really like this little bit cooler temperature.
A little bit of water.
So hopefully I've been picking the greens off of the outer edges of the sugar beets because they're kind of collapsing onto the ground anyway, for the bunnies. So that's been working great. What else is still out there?
I like the crookneck squash fried up like that. Never tried it with the beans. We usually do it with
You usually do it with Swiss chard, and then then we put it in the oven with feta cheese on top.
Well, and sometimes you've done one with potatoes too. It's quite good that way.
Yeah, just a full on, kind of like a skillet.
That's one thing I always kind of joke about it, but because we do raise a lot of animals, but in the summertime,
8 Celsius. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cold. In the summertime, we actually eat a lot of vegetarian dishes because we have so much of it.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of meat.
No, a lot less for August and September anyways.
Yeah. Our cucumbers, I got 2 cucumbers this year. All year I got 2 cucumbers. They were really nice, really tasty. We ate them as fresh, like for salad and stuff like that. But my cucumbers were awful. And use butter. We do not do anything but butter. Butter or lard.
Yeah. Probably be good with lard too. But.
Yeah. But hit the jackpot today, went to Superstore because butter was on sale for $2.88 a pound. So I bought 12.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Butter.
We used to always wait. We used to always wait until right before Christmas. Butter always went down to like $1.88 a pound. And then the last 2 years, it has not dropped again. So anyways, I kind of was like, you know what? It was on for $2.88. I said, I'm buying it. So what normally we buy about 30, but we've actually rationed ourselves on butter because it's so expensive now.
Yeah, at least where we are.
But yeah, we're the same way, Drops. We like butter. I cook with butter. Yeah. Bake with, well, sometimes I use lard for the baking. Depends
We'll
on what I'm
probably
making,
start
but
doing that more in the
once we
future.
have the pigs thingy, we'll probably use that a bit more. But yeah, I prefer butter to oil, or and margarine is not my thing.
That's funny.
Oh,
I don't know. I think it tastes better.
mm-hmm. Everything tastes better with butter. It's my motto. And I do say that my lamb tastes like butter, because the lamb is right up there as one of my favorite things, right along with butter.
It doesn't taste like it.
No, but it has that same gratifying, like when I get a nice layer of butter on something, it just tastes like butter. And for me, lamb is the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at Indiana Backyard Gardener's comment about
shortages.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen. I haven't seen anything really. I mean, we do the prep thing, so we've stocked. Oh, we're buffering. Oh, now we're now back. We stockpile. Like, we're never going to have a problem if there's no toilet paper, or if there's no oil, or that sort of thing. We kind of stockpile a lot of that sort of stuff. The only thing we don't is the dairy aspect.
Well, except for butter, because you can freeze.
Well, okay, butter because it was on sale, but I mean cheese and milk and that, because we don't make our own anymore. We just buy it as we need it. But I could survive without it if I didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
I say that. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
You could survive. I think that's the big thing about growing food and storing food, and that, I'm going to say, prepper mentality of you don't need a lot to survive, but there's also an enjoyment factor. You could eat the same thing day out.
Yeah.
And, you'd get bored of it eventually.
Yeah. We were talking about that, Drops, that we should probably stock some in the freezer, but I need to this is where I was talking earlier about the canning some meats and stuff like that, because we only have 2 chest freezers. We've talked about potentially buying another one because they're full, and we haven't butchered any chickens or anything like that yet. So I need to kind of get some stuff out of the freezer. I did find room for the butter.
There is a bunch of stuff that does have to come out.
Yes.
There's still tomatoes frozen from last year.
Yes. Well, I still have to make some more tomato stuff. So all that stuff will get into jars. But Chrissy's one disappeared before I got to read it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We haven't seen much in the way of, like, every now and then there'll be 1 or 2 items.
Yeah.
And
we're the same there, Chrissy. I mean, basically, it's usually items that are on sale you can't seem to find.
Yeah, but not always. There has been other times, but it's never long lasting.
Yeah.
But that's all supply chain stuff.
Yeah. I can't think of anything really that's missing that I haven't been able to find.
I can't remember.
The one thing I do find interesting is I'm going to have to order them online, because I go to buy some spices and they're not there. So I don't know if that's normal or not.
Yeah, but some spices only come from very specific areas, right?
But I'm finding that some of the spices that I use on a regular basis I can't find. So I'm going to have to go online and start looking, because
I have never heard of powdered butter. I've heard of powdered cheese.
Well, powdered milk.
But I've never heard of powdered butter before. That's a new one.
10 cans of powdered butter. Really? I guess it'd just be dehydrated. Huh.
I'm gonna have to look into that one.
I have to Google that and look it up, because that's interesting. Yeah, we kind of have this mindset. It's not that we're, think that there's going to be some huge crisis or anything like that. It's just kind of being prepared. I mean, we live in an area where ice storms are normal, or, you could go a week without electricity. Now, granted, do I need a year's worth? Probably not, but we're trying to save enough food to make it till the next canning season.
But
so
I like Drops this thing about every time he goes to Walmart. We're the same way.
We
it's
do.
Like every time, not just Walmart, but anywhere. Every time you go.
Well, we have a couple stores that we know we can buy the big bulk packs and stuff.
But it's anything, right? It's like you'll say,
Yeah.
"Oh, we need X," and then I'll pick up 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or whatever, and then you
Well,
don't
and
have
that's
to
yeah.
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. The spices are definitely something we have lots of. The oils, balsamic vinegars, all that sort of thing. Things that'll keep for, you've got 2 years or whatever, that sort of stuff. We've got lots.
I'm going to go to Honey Badger's comment next is the costing. That's the part that I will say is weird. Not that we are like super into tracking it or whatever, but like you say, there hasn't been too many things that aren't there, what's on sale or whatever, but the prices are weird because some things will go really high and other things will go low, and like I don't know, it seems to be all over the place, and it's not like one specific thing. It's I'm trying to think like, well, dairy was like that. Butter's been creeping up forever, and that's because most butter here is just
butter
cream. Right, so there's no additives, no nothing in it really except for the salt. But what is it? Sour cream crept up, like the better stuff that's just sour cream. It crept up and then it went right back down to like nothing. And
thanks for coming in, Backyard Gardener. Have a good night.
Other things that have stayed high, and I don't know, that's the part that seems all over.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't know, we just kind of, if something's on sale, we make sure we buy lots of it, and that's sort of how we operate. We stockpile based on what's on sale, and then just kind of it slowly builds up, and then there's some things that we buy regularly that we know, we're never going to, it's not going to ever come on sale. So we just buy what we think we're going to need for the year.
Well, that's the other thing that's nice about when you grow stuff yourself, because if you didn't grow anything, you'd be trying to do that with every item.
Yeah.
But because it's like your tomato stuff, like we don't buy tomato anything.
No.
You occasionally will buy a tomato in the off season, but that's.
I buy sometimes cherry tomatoes in the off season, but this year I'm going to grow some in the grow room.
And store them.
Yeah. So we'll see. I might not actually need to grow cherry tomatoes or buy cherry tomatoes, but I never buy regular tomatoes, just cherry ones.
Yeah. But
on occasion.
And I think that helps too, because it lets you use the money elsewhere. Yeah, I was gonna say ours is usually around $5.99. I haven't seen it go as high as $7.
It's $6.49.
Okay,
so close. Yeah, I would agree. So yeah, today I got it for $2.88. I was just like, I'll buy 12, and I probably should have actually bought more. To farmers, yeah, that's kind of my thing. Is you just never know when you're going to be snowed in or whatever. And we have a generator, so we can, as long as the gas holds out, keep freezers going and things like that.
Well,
but
wintertime freezers going isn't as big of a deal either, right?
Well, that's just it.
It's summertime when that matters more, but
yeah, same thing, Crucy. Stock it up while it's on special.
Yeah, and you're thinking in that year, you're not calendar year, but that year's worth, I think.
Yeah. I don't think that's weird at all. It's like we would, we use President's Choice, like we shop at Superstore and places like that. So you get the points. And when they offer you, it's like olives, you get 400 points for every $2 you spent on olives. So we went and bought a bunch of cans of olives just to have stocked because we got the points, and it's not something that we can grow. So, and we use them. So it was great that way to kind of have that. And, I don't know. There's been a few other things, but the one area that we're not so great at stockpiling for is the cat food. We probably should actually stockpile it. Like we stockpile animal feed for outside, but we do have a lot of stuff we can feed the cats, so it's not the end of the world. But 10 cans here. What was the cans of?
Is that the powder, the powdered cheese and butter?
Oh, maybe. Wow, that's expensive. It's high priced. We'll have to look into that. See, it'd be interesting just to have some. We got to get a little bit better with some of our storage on things. That's for sure.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We have the nice part is our basement is pretty good for that, because it's not a damp basement, which is nice.
And it's open. Very just need shelves.
Yep. That's what we need to invest in, is shelves.
We need shelves everywhere. That's the problem.
3 months
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Over the summer, there's, yeah. Well, mind you guys, were, moving and everything else too. So,
Sneak out for 1 second.
yeah. Can you get past me?
Yeah.
Why buy one when it's on special? Exactly. We do that all the time. It's one. We watch the thingies, and I'm even a person, like, we have 3 kind of grocery stores that are relatively close to us, and I tend to just check the flyers for all 3, and if there's something that I need, then I go, and if not, then I don't worry about it, like, or want to stockpile or that kind of thing. But ideally, I'd like to go to the grocery store as little as possible. So
Ideally, I'd like to go to any store as little as possible.
well, yes, you hate shopping. That's why we're trying to get all of our Christmas shopping done now. It's almost there. Almost there. Yes, drops. The bean thing and buying refried beans. Yes. Well, we grow them, but even then, it's so much cheaper to buy the bag of dry beans and make your own refried beans than it is.
Than it is to grow them? No.
No. Than to buy a can of refried beans.
I was gonna say it's not more.
No.
To grow them.
If they're buying cans of refried beans, it makes far more sense to just buy the dry bean for a fraction of the cost.
Oh yeah, totally.
And it stores just as equally as good.
Probably longer.
Might do, yeah.
If you put it, as long as it's not in a damp area.
Yeah.
Beans keep forever. You don't even know how old some of them are when they're on the shelf.
That's true. You could be buying old beans to begin with, but 60-pound bags or 60-pound bag, yeah. I don't know. I'd be curious. We'd like to eventually get to it. We probably, between all the beans that we grow, we take out the beans that we want to use for seeds to plant the next year, and then we just slowly use through all the what's left. And I bet you we've had 20, 25 pounds left over. This year we don't have as many. We didn't plant as well.
It's hard to say because I don't know. We've got different varieties of stuff though.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying usually it makes about 20, 25 pounds between them.
We've got to, that's something we've got to improve on.
Yeah, but I want to have more dry beans. Like when I start looking into what it says that you should have for a family of 4 for a year, we're definitely falling short. But
that's next year. 2022 will be the year of the bean.
The year of the bean.
Oh, that's funny.
Flip.
We'll have to look at
Oh
that
yes, I used to have that on my phone. That was
there you go.
Yeah, I think because it gives you what store is selling whatever item at the best price or something like that, doesn't it? I think that's what it was. It would ding all the time. I think when I got a new phone, I didn't load it on because I didn't use it enough. But
yeah, we've been stockpiling rice. We don't have years worth yet, but we've been.
We probably got 2 years worth of rice.
Yeah.
But rice is something that we do. We like to mix our rices. We like brown, black, and white rice all mixed together. And so we buy them, and they come in these really awesome vacuum sealed packs.
Some of them do, yeah.
Which makes it nice for storage because they don't. I've never even looked at the dates on those. I bet you they'd store for ages, though.
Probably. Well, as long as they're dry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's the one I'm pretty sure that's the one I had.
Into.
But it works good. It's always nice to find a deal. But anyways, my dear.
I think we may
wrap it
call
up.
It an evening. It's going on almost 11.
I know.
Tomorrow's another day.
Another day. Another list to tackle. $1 packets of.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, drops. That's definitely something worth having. And it's nice because they got like kind of all the spices and they're sealed in such a way that they will last for ages. And as long as you're rotating your stock, I mean, I think that's one of the things. Well, you're the same way. I mean, if you grow enough, you're not overly worried. Like, we don't stockpile for 20 years. We're basically a year, and trying to figure out as we go more and more of the stuff that we could do ourselves, to try and eliminate the dependency, and having to worry about it. I said that we were saying the other day that the biggest thing is jar lids.
And there are ways to eliminate the dependency there too.
Yeah, but it's expensive. But yeah, so
if you
we have to.
Teenagers, you'll rotate your socks.
Yeah, well, this is it. That's what we're noticing is you go through it quick enough. So,
well, thanks for sticking with us till midnight.
Yes, honey badgers. Hope things are going well there, and
still hoping that winter holds off for you guys.
Yes.
Let's see if that comes true or not, but
yeah.
We eat all the ice cream.
Yeah.
They don't have to be teenagers for that.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about kids.
Oh,
they eat all the ice cream.
I do too. Ice cream doesn't last long around here, but
I don't think they have a lot of it either. But
no. But anyways, have a good night, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us on our chat, and we shall be here next week.
Catch everybody next week.
Yeah, we are going to be back into the routine of things, hopefully. That's that fall thing, I don't know.
Fall routine.
Yeah, but have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Now I got to get my thingy where I can shut it off.
Oh, gonna be
Sorry.
earthquake.
As I move you all around.